walked in a crowded room, surrounded by faces all too familiar. It was a regular night on the town that after turned bitter, ignited the smile of leaving her dark room only to face the devil himself in a stall bathroom. Grinding up against her, she pushed him away with discontent. He said, "It's okay, it's just dancing," and pulled her in without consent. She repeated no, and her friends saw her call, so they shoved him away and moved afar. The uncomfortability while he stares leaves a fear in her step, but she tries to put on a brave face because her friends are amid, yet he lingers around her like an insect in a field, waiting for the opportunity to get her alone so his ego can be freed. The night turns darker, she needs relief, so she enters the bathroom thinking she's safe, but he forces his way through to lock her in a stall and rid her of her light. She tries to scream, but no one saw him enter, and he holds her close with no words to utter. She stomps and screams as he breaks her spirit. His breath reeks of disgust and tobacco forces to fit. She's now numb and tears flowing. He pulls out a knife. "If you tell anyone, I'll find you and end this right." So he walks out the stall, proud as a predator, while she lays on the floor bleeding and her light dimmer. Traumatized but afraid, she tells her friends she'll head home, driving to the only place she knows comfort. Yet her bed feels estranged as she lays in ripped clothes, her head, her heart broken, and her light ripped from her soul. She lays awake, questioning her choices. Was it the drinks she ordered? Was it the clothes that said yes, come forth? Was her makeup done too well or her hair too loose? Or maybe a smile just a little too open? Blaming herself, she tries to move on with her life, not saying a word. But she becomes a shell of who she used to be, her soul now scorned. She loses her friends because she hides the truth. Nobody would believe her, it's his word against hers, and she burnt the evidence too. So she tries to escape with a blade too sharp, but her mother finds her bleeding and falling apart. She's rushed to a Red Cross where they stitch her back together, but she can't keep the truth that lingers beneath her. So she tells her mother and her brother too. They break down in rage and want justice for the truth. So she opens the case with no evidence on her side, as she asks her then friends to voice witness to the crime. Her support system grows and they believe her trauma, but he still walks free, the deluded predator. Not for long though, it seems, as more witnesses come forward to help her redeem. He finally gets locked up and her soul is freed. But again, the system still fails her as he walks, just fined, but still freed. Some say she's lucky, it could have been worse, but they don't know that her whole life chapter shifts and nothing will make her mind disperse. As much as people pretend to be advocates, they aren't believers when dynamics shift. This tale seems crazy, but stop and think. If the victim was a man, would you still listen or rethink? Change the sexism in our beliefs as they stand. This can happen to anyone, woman or man. But at the end of the day, there is not justice for our victims. The authority still sides with predators, and the victims still scarred, and there is no freedom. No freedom from the thoughts or fears of letting anyone near you. You are affected and trust no one. They've taken that from you. Affecting the love a pure soul wants to give you. You believe you aren't worthy of love they want to show you. Now the world we live in, you are never too young to experience the hurt of a demon, and the pain gives preference. So never stay silent. If we all rise to awareness, maybe the rules won't be so compliant. It is not your fault, you made no mistake. Wear what you want and smile as you please. It's the predators who need to be seized. Call out the friend, the brother, the sister, the neighbor, the uncle, the father, the mother, the aunt, the friend, and even the teacher. Don't remain silent, for the demons need to pay. Walk with pride and fight them every day. It's a mistake you as a victim need not fix. There's no fixing me or the victims they use. It's fixing them and the tragedies and injustice these predators choose. My safe space is for you too.